Hey, everybody. I am Paul Varacchi, and this is
Stephen Koepfer of Film Fights with Friends podcast.
Welcome to our newest episode with Tara Mackin as our guest.
Tara Mackin is awesome.
Holy moly. I really love this interview.
Yeah, totally.
And it's great because she is obviously just a super film nerd.
Mm-hmm.
So she's so easy to talk to.
Except a film nerd who didn't see all the movies. We were like, did you see? We gave her homework, listeners. We gave her homework.
We're trying to pump her up for the interview.
Yeah. No, seriously, she was awesome. And we were talking about Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the show, the Amazon series, on which she was the fight coordinator.
Yes.
And the lead double. Yep.
Yes.
But she was, we found out today, cover coordinating on that final episode that we're going to talk about, which is The Breakup.
The Breakup. Where
she was nominated for an Emmy for Best Stunt Performance.
Not the first time, right?
First Emmy. Six, read them. Six.
Thank you.
SAG-AFTRA.
6 SAG-AFTRA awards.
Nominations. 6. Wow. Insane. She's been in
So lucky to have her on
Thor. Right?
Thor Ragnarok. That's why I got my Taika here. Nice and signed.
A bunch of Marvel, Captain America. I mean, she's just been in everything.
All over the place.
Yeah, she's awesome.
We are very lucky to have her on. And you guys are lucky to hear some of the stories that she has to tell.
Oh, totally. It's great. You're going to love this interview. And we really get into her process of approaching designing fights for such a big production like Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Speaking of designing fights, what have you been up to lately, buddy?
What have I been up to?
Yeah, you gotta. What have you not been?
Oh yeah. Well, by the time this episode airs, probably it will be wrapped. But I am
brought it up, shithead.
I am coordinating on a little indie.
Nice,
little indie.
Very
coming up. I think we'll be shooting in July.
Ooh.
So yeah, by the time this airs on August 29th, it will be done.
Nice, very cool, dude.
By the way, August 29th, you should be saying something to me.
Safe. No.
Well, no. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say the Art of Movie Making Film Festival, which we always fuck up. It's such a great festival. We do it a disservice by messing up the name. But no, that is not what I was going to say.
Just know we do it on purpose.
You should be saying happy birthday to me, motherfucker. Yesterday was my birthday.
Oh, I forget.
In the future. We're doing a little...
I'm like, wait a second. Is your birthday the 29th? Is it the 30th? You know what matters? And you know it doesn't matter when your birthday is. What matters is that I give you the most awesome fucking gifts ever.
You do.
I know.
You do.
I know.
I don't deny it.
It may be 2 or 3 years late, but you got them.
No, it's never late, dude. It's never late. They're always so good that it makes me feel like shit when I get you something not as good.
Dude, and that makes me love it even more.
Also, right now, as this episode is dropping, we're doing a little Back to the Future shit. But as this episode is dropping, you and I are driving to Washington, D.C. right now.
Oh my God, for Gerald's wedding.
Gerald
was one of my former Krav Maga students who now what is he doing right now specifically?
I'm not sure. He started training with you, then he started training with me.
Yep.
Then he went to the Marine Corps. We went to his send-off to the Marine Corps. He became an officer.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he got out of the Marines, he became a Supreme Court officer down in D.C. And now
for the FBI.
I think maybe the FBI or something else. I'm not sure what he's doing now.
Maybe we're giving information we shouldn't have. But
we'll find out.
We'll figure it out when we go.
We'll be there tomorrow.
I honestly just can't wait to go see this guy get married.
Or 2 months from now, depending on which timeline we're on.
He's like, dude, I put you at the table with all of the other fighters.
Yeah. He's asking for trouble. He is asking for trouble.
I'm like, you planned your wedding.
There's going to be a big brawl at this wedding.
It's not going to be a brawl. It's going to be a brawl, but then afterwards be like, what? It's just a demonstration.
Like, if you're actually listening to this episode on the day it drops, like Frankie Bay. Hello, Frankie Bay on YouTube.
Yes, please.
The day that the Ava Blackwell episode dropped.
Frankie
like the legit, like it was out for hours,
and Frankie was on it,
and he's on there saying this episode was awesome.
We appreciate the engagement, brother.
And Frankie, you're the best.
Thank you, man.
You gotta, dude, you gotta come to New York and hang a little bit,
or shoot us a message and throw us some info. We'll send you a little something special.
But anyway, you and I will be driving to DC.
I can't wait. Our road trips are great. Great things happen on our road trips, man.
They do. We come up with ideas. Mm-hmm. We do. And by the way, this episode drops on August 29th, the day that Caught Stealing, the new Darren Aronofsky movie, hits theaters, which I got some work on.
Yes. Very nice.
So when you see Bad Bunny almost get hit by a cab.
That's right.
That's me.
That was actually that was a fun day you told me about. I remember that.
Fun couple days working on there.
Bad Bunny, isn't he he's like the caddy in the new fucking Adam Sandler movie?
Oh, is he?
I think he's because
dude's like fucking Renaissance man, multi-talented.
He's all over the place.
He's gonna be like the next Justin Timberlake on SNL. Like, he's really funny. They keep bringing him back onto SNL, and he's so funny.
I love me some JT on SNL, dude. He's hilarious.
Dude, Bad Bunny. Mark my words, everybody. Mark my words. Bad Bunny's going to be the next like returning guest comedic person on SNL.
And tonight, it's going to be tomorrow. But when this airs, it's already passed. But I'm so excited for my episode of The Walking Dead to come out.
Yes. So in real time, when we're recording this, before we batch it, your episode of Walking Dead is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Season finale. I cannot wait.
And now if we fast forward to August 29th when this drops, we can tell everybody, go back and fucking watch the season finale of Dead City.
And you get to see my fucking
and you'll see Paul
shit-eating grin. I looked angry the entire time, and the director kept calling me Twitch because I was twitching my eye.
There you go, Twitch. Paul Twitch Varacchi.
Oh, God. It's better than that. When I was in high school, they used to call me Scratch.
Yeah.
Because I used to scratch my balls when I wrestled.
And then you would twitch after.
Well, no, but then everybody in the school started calling me for Scratchy.
You know I'm going to have to say that all the time now. My co-host, Paul for Scratchy. Oh, my God. So listen, everybody, please engage. Engage with us on the socials, like Frankie Bay.
Oh, did I say when I wrestled? I'm sorry. It was when I was on the tennis team.
What? How the fuck? That is two completely different sports, dude.
No, because I played two sports. I wrestled until I dislocated my shoulder, and then I played tennis. I played tennis all through fucking college.
But did you wrestle while you played tennis? That is the question. Did you go John McEnroe?
Two completely different seasons. So yes.
Yeah. You did go John McEnroe? Were you a McEnroe?
Basketball and wrestling that were during the same season.
But what I'm saying is, when you lost, were you slamming your racket down? Were you that guy?
I was an angry fuck. I wasn't that great. I was like 2 and 3 doubles, 1 when we were playing a shitty school.
Right.
They let me jump into 3 singles when we were playing a shitty school.
Yeah. I need to find some footage of that.
No, you don't.
There's no footage. It's probably on VHS.
I'm like, it's in the 90s. There's no footage of it.
Yeah.
No.
Somebody's got an old degraded VHS.
Remember, like, I would make the comments of, like, I've been coaching since I was in high school. And somebody posted a picture of me coaching the girls volleyball team when I was like a senior in high school, because I was the assistant coach because they didn't have a guys volleyball team. And I was just, so they were like, dude, just be assistant coach for the team. I was like, fuck it. All right.
And then the girl's like, what's he doing? Oh, he's twitching his balls. Why is the assistant coach over there twitching? Oh my God. All right. Listen, everybody, please show us love everywhere.
It's like, give him a break.
Everywhere you can.
Give him a break. He's on the tennis team.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We need to get to this interview with Tara, man. Anything else we need to say? But let's pump up the film festival in October.
Yes.
It's coming up. The Art of Movie Making Film Festival.
You got it right.
Yeah, it is. Last episode I got it wrong, but I don't remember. But anyway, right or wrong, it's a great festival.
This is a great festival. And what's the best thing about it is it supports all of the aspects of filmmaking that most of the other award shows don't.
Yes.
And it not only supports it, really, really focuses on it.
Or at least they don't televise. They don't play it up.
Puppets.
Yep.
Wardrobe
design, like everything, all the crafts. Yeah.
By the way, I just want to throw this out there
performance
before we get into this. I went and saw 28 Years Later. It came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Holy shit. The movie in itself was very good.
Yeah.
But the set design and the cinematography look, I got goosebumps just talking about it. We're so amazing.
They shot it on an iPhone.
And I don't give
not even the most recent version.
Don't give a fuck.
Well, you just brought up cinematography, Dick.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, I don't know how they did it. I remember seeing some of the scenes and they had like this, the horseshoe of like 37 iPhones on it.
Yeah.
And they were just like shooting this one whole, absolutely amazing. And and then when you go back and they're like, yeah, this was shot on an iPhone and an old one.
Yeah. It wasn't the most updated one, but
you would never know.
It was shot on an iPhone with super expensive.
Oh yeah. With $10,000 of added equipment on it.
Yeah. Totally.
But wow, what an amazing movie. And I believe it's
until that part where Alex Garland's wife started calling him and it showed up on the screen. Like, damn it, I forgot to put it on airplane mode.
That was funny.
Oh,
all right. So on that note,
let's just say, hey, you see this beautiful space behind us? We do rent it, and we do comedy shows. If you rent from us too, come here to do a rehearsal, shoot a previs,
train an actor,
run an audition, and hear some really bad jokes.
Breakfall Studios. That's what we do here.
Breakfall Studios. Follow us, like us, subscribe to us, show us, give us some love.
All on the internets, please.
Yeah, reviews. We need those reviews. On Apple Podcasts, give us a review.
Word?
You can't do it on Spotify, but you can on Apple.
That's so ridiculous.
I know. And on IMDb, give us a review.
Bless you.
Lastly, we have to ask you to support us on Patreon. We do have a Patreon.
We do, and we're still waiting for our newest $20 member. We have an awesome gift for you.
Well, by the time this airs, we might have it, but we could plug it anyway. If we do have a $20 tier, and we got an amazing gift for you,
gold foil limited edition Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones poster.
Yep, and by the time this drops, we will have had our second live show.
Oh yes.
So hopefully that shit went well. Nobody got killed or died or anything.
Or rioted because we suck.
Totally. And hopefully we'll meet all our new Patreon people.
I now want to hire people to come and throw popcorn at us just to see if they can distract us.
How much? I'll throw popcorn. I mean,
I'll throw you a background rate day.
I could use it. I totally could use it. All right, cool. On that note, let's bring in Tara.
Here we go.
Yo, Tara, we cannot believe we got you. This is awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah. This is so cool. And hopefully you'll have fun too. It's a little bit of a different podcast than like stuff that's out there.
We do our best to try and not make it the same old, So how did you get started?
Yeah.
No, thank God, and I appreciate it.
and feel free. We are rated explicit, so don't worry about the language.
Right.
Just have fun with that. So drop all the F-bombs.
Let's fucking go.
Let the potty mouth go. So, hey, we're going to start with the amazing final episode of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the breakup episode, which I rewatched. Mm-hmm. And I will say, like, you had sent me the script, which was awesome, but I had found a version of the script online before that, which was also a production version, but it had a couple of pages with later things, so it was like pretty cool. But what I usually do, like before we do these interviews, is I at least watch the fight scene and read along with the script. But this time I did the whole episode. I went page by page reading it as we went through.
That's awesome. It's so fun to do.
Yeah, totally. And so I would say like 85-90% of it is pretty much the same. It was pretty darn close. Mm-hmm. With some stuff changed. Obviously, a lot of dialogue changed and things like that. One thing that I have to give my wife a shout out for is, the scene when they're at the Whitney, they meet at the Whitney Museum and they're standing in front of the painting, right? Because they both think the other tried to kill them.
Right.
And again, for listeners, this is like 2 years 3 years ago, this show, so spoilers galore.
Get over it.
Yeah, get over it. So they're standing, and my wife goes, "Oh, Edward Hopper. That's Edward Hopper, right?" And then she knows the whole story about the painting, the behind that painting. And I don't know if you know this or not. So
I have no idea about the painting.
Okay, so what's really cool is, and I am not good with the memory, but in the screenplay, it's supposed to be a painting called Broken Doll by Maxine Gutierrez, right? And I looked it up, and there actually was that exhibit at the Whitney. It really was there, but that's not the painting they used. They used Edward Hopper, A Woman in the Sun. And for those listening, it's just a portrait of a woman in the nude, staring like she's sort of like left frame of the painting. And so when the scene happens and Donald Glover is standing on the right side of the frame and Maya is standing on the left side of the frame and the painting's in the middle, it's almost like two women facing Donald Glover, right? So my wife is like, oh, that painting, the history of that painting is that was Edward Hopper's idealized version of his wife. So his wife actually posed for him when she was like 78 years old for that painting, but he painted her how he visualized her, the young, idealized wife, which is so amazing because that whole part of that scene, right, was coming to terms with the wife I want, the wife I got.
Yep.
In their relationship. And the painting was perfect. And I don't know if it was a happy accident, but it was so amazing. And I wouldn't have got it if I didn't read through the script.
Or your wife brought it up.
Yeah. Or thankfully, my wife, Chris, nod to you. She has the amazing vast knowledge where she can just be like, oh, Edward Hopper, that was about his wife, you know?
I'm going to have to rewatch that episode and that scene just for that reason, because I too did not clock it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have, but it's so cool. It's like a little Easter egg. So we always start with reading a little bit, and this fight is like half the episode, so we're obviously not going to read the whole thing. But I will put on my spectacles because I'm old like that, and then we'll read part of it. And I'll kind of read through the part because the whole fight is not on YouTube, but the fight starting in the sort of in the library is on YouTube. So I'll read a part that overlaps with that. Interior, and then we'll get your gut reactions because it's been a couple years, I bet, since you read this. Interior, Smith house, kitchen, dining room. John's now perched behind the wall of the dining room, his shotgun out of rounds. Jane watches John's hand come out from behind the wall into a cat tower in front of the wall. He lifts the pillow. By the way, I will just say that we had to put like the killing of the cat in that scene broke me because we just had to put our cat down last week. It I was like, oh my God, it was a rough one. Anyway, another gun hidden in it. He grabs it, starts to fire, but just in time, John opens the refrigerator and uses it as a shield. Jane opens the refrigerator, uses it as a shield. Exploding kombucha, pickles, butter goes everywhere. Interior, Smith house, first floor, kitchen. John comes around the corner. Jane bails to the other side of the kitchen. John slides to duck behind the island, now at opposite sides of the kitchen. Jane fires rounds, missing John, but destroying the dining room. John fires at Jane, missing her, but blasting the living room. Bullets hit the windows, shattering them. Jane bolts for the stairs, headed for the next hidden weapon. She unloads on John as he fires back. The entry light gets blasted. The security monitor hit. Dust flies around her, exposing brick on the once pristine wall. They hit everything but each other, destroying the life that they once had. John runs into the library just as Jane grabs a book. Another gun hidden in place. John never looks. As soon as she pulls it out, John disarms her. This is a great fight scene, and you gave us like some cool behind-the-scenes footage from this that will drop in here. It's a hand-to-hand fight now, using books, whatever else they can find as weapons. Jane, here's a book you never read, asshole. It's getting brutal. Jane kicks John. He grabs her leg, slams her against the bookshelf. Jane uses a book to crush John's fingers against the bookshelf, then swipes his head, barely missing a punch. They battle each other with books. Jane kicks him in the gut, and they exchange punches. Jane reaches for another book, another with a stashed away gun. John grapples with her as shots fire off around the room. John takes her down, disarming her. He puts her in a wakigatami there. Yeah. He grabs her and flips her over him and uses the momentum to roll him sumagaeshi. That was awesome.
That was
great.
So awesome.
She kicks him hard in the gut, sending him over.
That whole transition.
Yep.
I was just like, I don't know. There's certain things that I'm like, I gotta call Steve. I'm like, oh wait, he sent this to me.
Sending him into the guest room, and we'll stop there. But for those not watching, this fight is like 12 pages long. It's massive. So what are you thinking when you hear that? You're the fight coordinator. You just get this, right? And you're like, I got to make this happen.
Well,
and I'm just gonna throw something else on top of it.
Yeah.
Not only do you get this, you have to do something different and almost better than the fucking movie.
yes.
So you have something you almost need to look at, compare to, and been like, nope. You know what I mean? Because it was like already done that way in a weird way. So yeah, like what?
So this episode was really special to me. Not only was I the fight coordinator for that episode, I actually coordinated that episode because our main coordinator was out scouting in Italy. So I got to oversee the entirety of this episode.
Wow.
So that was cool in and of itself. And
this was the only episode Donald Glover directed too,
yes.
Right? Of the
so
eight
yeah,
of
Donald,
them. Yeah.
Donald directed the episode. I had a big say in the whole episode. And I really enjoyed this team because they're so collaborative. Even from day one leading up to this episode is ever evolving, as opposed to like other TV shows that I've been a part of where they give you the script and you just got to follow the script. Where this was collaborative effort between Francesca Sloan, the showrunner, and Donald and Maya, and just making sure that above all else, everything needs to be story motivated, character motivated. Because at the end of the day, a punch is a punch, a kick's a kick. So what makes us different is if the audience can connect to real emotions between relationships, that's what's going to drive the fight. And that's what's going to dictate the fight. You know, so for me, whenever I do anything, I just think like, like acting, how does that make you feel in the moment? What is your genuine motivation? And then that way, when you are teaching the actors, they know where they're going, as opposed to them trying to achieve some crazy, really flashy move. They're here still trying to deliver the essence of that moment, of that motivation. So for me, when I got the episode, the original draft, none of that was even written in.
Right.
We knew that obviously we're going to have the whole breakup episode. It's going to start at the Whitney. It's going to keep going. And then all hell breaks loose when you get to the house. And the idea, we're going to start in the bottom level and we're going to go up each level from basement, kitchen, living room, bedroom, and then which ends up with the truth serum.
Like Game of Death.
And I also like, and maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like all of the hidden weapons were in places the other person wouldn't look.
Yes.
And they knew exactly where they were, which was hilarious to me.
Yes. And so like building the scene was a collaborative effort. You know, I basically walk through the space with Donald since he was directing this and it's such a personal episode, and just kind of figure out like what I personally would do and what I think is coolest and most aesthetic and what can break the most things. And then getting his flair, you know, like I know for me, there were elements I wanted to incorporate that would give homage to the original, but not be the original, you know, so little things like incorporating the fridge or incorporating, you know, different things. And for us, it was a matter of like, how much damage can we do? And kind of like, let's do a lot of damage to the most expensive things. So it really, really hurts, like both financially and like emotionally.
Yeah, that was running through it, right? Oh, you're more expensive art is getting destroyed, and all this stuff is getting destroyed. It was crazy. Yeah,
and then also just thinking about, you know, where would they each, like you said, each of them hid weapons away from each other, so they didn't know, like, where would Jane realistically hide weapons that John wouldn't look for? So as we were walking, doing the scouts and doing director's walkthrough, just kind of thinking about what elements we want to use. So that was even before the like conception of the fight. It was just the roadmap of destruction. So that was kind of in play when it came to like the entrance, this whole like cat and mouse into the in the basement to the living room of kill the cat, open the fridge, slide on laundry, slide on the table, gunshots trailing the walls, and then it leads into the library. And I feel like if you rewatch the scene, the kitchen shootout, it's all very big. Explosions, this and that, little gunshots, just to really get you in the mood. And then when you transfer to the library, now it's all books and there's a lot of dialogue, which is nice because then you have a moment for the audience to pause and you have them to register what's happening between this two. And then once they get a couple of their lines in, and then you go into the nitty gritty of having some martial arts and something that's really grounded and that's visceral and something that both actors can achieve. And then you move on. So that's kind of in a nutshell what I did.
Yeah, then it goes to the bedroom, right, where it gets real intimate. It is moving into a direction of more intimacy until they hit the truth serum, which is super intimate.
What I actually really appreciated, though, was that for me in the movie, all they kind of wanted to do was fuck.
But that was the motivation the whole time was
and maybe that was just their chemistry in life,
right?
But in this, there were true moments where I'm like, oh, they fucking hate each other. And then I'm like, oh, wait, they love each other. And then I'm like, but there was never the constant battle of are they going to fuck?
Yeah, no.
So the way that it was just directed and shot, and they made sure that each scene had its own emotion that was driven by kind of what was going on around it and what it brought them to, was really, really fucking cool, that it really melted out into the fight. And then, and it wasn't just a 7 minutes of watching you two people that are fighting while they want to fuck.
Exactly. And I feel like, I'm a woman. 90% of the fights I do, that's basically what happens. The girl fights the guy, and it's normally
I make no judgments.
I know, right? But it's always this very basic motivation,
right,
you're fighting, but really it's kind of sexy fight, and there's tension, and that's what it, for the most part it is. And so it was nice for this one where it feels like, a couple that have a lot of built-up aggression, a lot of things that piss each other off, and it never gets addressed, and finally is getting addressed.
Well, that's the funny thing is when you're in a relationship and you fight, you have the moments of where you're only focused on what you're trying to get across. And I feel that you guys in the fight were able to put across those moments. And then after it, you realize that you actually care about this person. And then you go to that moment for a little bit, but then all of a sudden you realize you had a point to make. And then you go back to the other moment. It was like a true argument, but physical.
How much of the dialogue or the one-liners back and forth was on the day?
Yeah.
Let me see.
There
was a lot of play. There was a lot of play to the one-liners and just letting them riff a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Because once again, Donald and Maya are such good actors.
Oh, they were amazing.
Yeah, they had so much going into this. So yeah.
That's cool.
They were great.
Because when you're going along with the script and watching the show, you're like, oh, that line. There's a whole lot of lines that I was like, they must have just, once they were in the zone, just come up with these lines, And I saw an interview with Glover that said he had never seen the original movie.
No.
Before this.
Crazy.
Which is actually, it's great though, because then you really can dive into the story being told here.
Yeah, and I feel like the flavors of the original and this universe that they created is so vastly different. They basically took the idea of having this couple that are spies that are killing each other, but they made a whole universe for that, which is so cool, and an organization, which makes it, I don't know, very interesting.
I mean, the production was pretty epic for a TV show. You guys were everywhere.
Yes.
Around the world. It was like a Bond movie. It was crazy.
It was the best. It was so much fun.
What do you find hardest? So you were working on this and you said everybody was so collaborative. And then, you have your own choreography, you do the previs, you bring it to them. What do you find it hard when someone comes up to you and tells you to change your choreography in the moment after it was rehearsed? Where do you go in those
moments? Not at all.
Well, maybe can we put a pause and just answer that question, but maybe first, so you did the walkthrough, you did the scout and sort of mapped it out. Then what happened next? Like, how much prep time did you have for developing the choreo and training folks and rehearsing and maybe shooting a previs? Like, how much time before you get to the point where you're on set and got to make a change?
So yeah, if I can remember correctly, we had like 2 weeks of prep before this episode. And then from the scout and kind of like breaking down what we're trying to achieve, when it came to choreographing, it was a day. It was pretty, because for me, when I choreograph, I like things to flow and to make sense. And, I've been doing this for a long time, and I know everybody has a different approach to action and developing action. Quite frankly, I'm not the type of choreographer that feels like I want to give the team 6 or 7 different versions of one fight. For me, I like to just give them one version first, let them digest in it, and then they can make adjustments. Because if I feel like I give them 3 to 4 variations, like a short variations, long variations, a more brutal, more weapons, now you're overwhelming your audience, being like your collaborative team. And now they get spoiled and they're like, well, maybe this and that and this, and you're putting more work on yourself. And so for me, I just did one rehearsal, came back. I was like, you know what? This is going to be ridiculous. I'm going to add so many moves. It's going to be so obnoxiously long. And then they can take out whatever beat they want. I'll give them a buffet of movement that goes along. And it's going to be so over the top, because then they'll cut it down as per usual because they don't have the time. And then we'll get to the core of what I wanted in the first place anyways.
There you go.
So then we showed them like this big, drawn out, long situation. And of course, they're like, oh, that's great. We're just going to do that. I'm like, oh, well, okay, great. We're doing it.
Well, isn't that the trick, right? To make them think that it was their idea, right? Totally.
And then in terms of teaching the actors, because they're on set every day working. And so I'd have to be on standby just on set. Right. So anytime we can get 15 minutes with them, either at lunch or when they wrap, just to go over things, but not to overwhelm them. And then the same thing when we got to the actual shoot day, we just kind of broke them up by sections and just kind of worked it out, you know. And then we did the usual, like, will be, for the most part, they can do 90% of the action themselves. And for me as a choreographer, that's my goal. And whenever it gets a little too like technical or a little too physical, then, I'll step in and do some stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, especially since you were cover coordinating too. How much juggling did you have to do? But it's always, like you said, it's always better if the actor can do it, right? So you were able to focus more on the coordination side and less on the doubling side.
Yeah, so I could focus on them, watch them. I've already watched them in rehearsals. They killed it. And then whenever they wanted to be like more aggressive, because, they're a little ginger with each other. Obviously, they're both actors and they're very professional. Then I'll be like, okay, you can partner with me. I'm going to hurt you. You better cover. And, and vice versa. Feel free to go to town and it's going to be great.
That's awesome. And so, did you have something, Paul?
What?
I don't know. I thought
so you don't have to
usually
put it on me.
You're my second wife. I usually predict when you're going to have a question. But
I guess the question I have is, when you work with actors, like Donald and Jane, who get their own choreo and are very collaborative and willing to work with. Have you ever? And you don't have to name, but how much harder is it to work with someone who doesn't want to learn their own stunts and doesn't really want to learn choreography and just focuses on acting?
I mean, I've gotten...
How do you approach that a little bit differently?
I've gotten every single spectrum of different kind of responses to choreography and stunts and action, and whether or not they're willing to listen in the first place, or they have their own agendas, or if they just don't want any of this. And I feel like it's like dealing with children. You just got to be patient. You got to like hear them out, hear their wants and their needs, and make sure that they feel like they're in a safe environment so they're heard. And then it's something sometimes you have to like talk between the actor and like the director and everybody else, just so they know that, someone's not too happy with this and that.
Right.
And also remind them like, hey, I'm pretty low in the totem pole. I'm basically the middleman. I'll do the best I can. I'll give you exactly everything you want. But if it's something that's more not in line because it's a character choice, then I'll bring it up to the higher ups. I'll bring it up to the director or whoever, because then they can really address it, and maybe it'll inspire them to want to have a little bit more effort.
Sure.
And
in this case, the director was also in the scene. Like, how much was he leaning on, say, the first AD or somebody else to be his eyes when he's on camera? Like, what was that whole dynamic like?
It was great because the same, like his DP, his AD, everybody's the same team that he used from the show Atlanta. They're all besties, and they work so well together. So it was such like an easy process of like doing it, knowing what you want, watching playback, and moving on. And also, it was nice too because he is directing. He can't tire himself out either because he has a long day ahead. So you're never overshooting anything.
Oh,
so
that's good.
Always a bonus.
Right. Very cool. How did this compare to like past? Was this the first series that you were the fight coordinator on?
Yes, it was my first series.
Yeah, I was going to say compared to movies,
like an episode on Westworld, but it was like one episode, and that was super fun.
For which you were also Screen Actors Guild nominated for Westworld twice.
It was good. It was a fun show.
I love that show.
It was so good. Yeah, I fight coordinated one episode.
Which episode was it?
Shoot, I forget. But it's between.
Or what was the fight? Yeah,
it was between Tandue and Ed Harris. And,
that's cool.
I love Tandue. I've been doubling her for years. She's an absolute legend and an icon. And watching her work, it's such a gift. It's so wonderful. And Ed is a freaking man. He is the coolest.
He's one of my favorites ever.
And you know what? He's like, he got that old man strength.
Yes.
Where I feel like a lot of people baby him because he's up there.
Right.
But you don't. He is tough as nails. He is such a badass, so tough. If anything, all the actors have to watch out for him because he's swinging. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's just like that kind of old guy. And he's such an intense actor that he's not going to pull back. He's probably going to be really aggressive, which I personally love.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's how I felt with Scott Glenn. I got to work with Scott Glenn, and the guys, like, everybody's like, oh, he's 83. And I'm like, he's challenging people to push-up competitions right now.
I'm like, now I can talk about it. But when I was working with Kim Coates on The Walking Dead and I had scenes where I had to like put my hands on him, there's nothing better than when an actor turns around and looks at you and he's like, yo, I want to fucking feel it. He's like, bring me in. He's like, I'm good. And I'm like, okay. And we worked on like what, and I was like, holy shit, you just want me to grab you and shake the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
So it's really great when you get that collaborative of feedback of like how the physicality can work between you and a number one, and when they want it to look authentic, and the first words they have to you are like, you can go for it, like you can make it look real, like grab me and shake me, and I'm like,
I love it. But I feel like, Ed's like a different generation, different caliber of actor where they do everything. Mm-hmm. In a different universe, if he was acting now, he'd be a stuntman. He's such a badass.
He's in one of my favorite movies ever, which is, I don't know if you've ever seen State of Grace with Sean Penn.
But, no. I gotta watch it.
Such an amazing movie. He's
I thought you were going to say The Rock. I was like, oh, I love The Rock.
And
that is great too.
The Rock is amazing. That should be like everyone's favorite movie in one genre or another.
Yeah.
The Rock should be up there. But State of Grace is Sean Penn, Gary Oldman, Robin Wright, Ed Harris, John C. Reilly, every single fucking everybody you can think of. And
That's amazing.
The stunt crew is all old school New York guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we've been meaning to do an episode on that.
And the final shootout is during the Irish Parade in Manhattan. It's about, not that I've ever seen this movie. It's like 4 minutes and 36 seconds long, all slow motion, and every single fucking thing reads like from the bottles breaking on the bar to the squibs, to the shots, to the reactions. There isn't a millisecond of that whole scene that doesn't read perfectly.
Oh, State of Grace. Okay, I'm going to watch that tonight.
You definitely
I remember before, I was talking to, what's his name? I forgot who I was talking to, but I was telling him about the scene, and he was like, bullshit. There's no fucking way. And he literally pulled it up, and he's like, I'm watching it right now. He's like, don't get off the phone. And he gets to the end of the scene. He's like, holy fuck. He's like, you're right.
Yeah.
He's like, that was perfect. all in slow motion.
It's a classic.
Yeah, you got to check it out. Let alone the hour and a half of amazingness it takes you to get there. Because it's Sean Penn, Gary Oldman, and Robin Wright, Ed Harris. Sure. Just an amazing movie. So
you fight coordinate on Westworld. What did you take from that experience forward with you?
I mean, Westworld was a special kind of show. It was pretty chaos. In a fun way, it was chaos. I feel like if you can survive Westworld, you can survive anything.
Okay.
You know, it was one of those shows where it was so much fun to be a part of. It was great. But, you know, you're working 14-hour days.
Mm-hmm.
All you're doing so many takes. The conditions are pretty grueling.
And your genre was all over the place.
Exactly. So it was just, if you can survive those filming conditions, because they were just, the show was so big, like the scale was so big, then everything else is a walk in the park.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, so and you know, the crew was really cool and super fun, and everybody was in it together. So whenever I hear people working on other shows that the Westworld team are getting ready to do, I'm like, oh, you don't know what you're in for. Get ready for very long days, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Very demanding, but the quality is really good.
So when you got when you got that first call where you had to come up with a previs and hand it to a director.
Mm-hmm.
You mean just in general or for this show?
Just in general. In general. When you got that call, like that call, when someone was like, hey, I need you to step up, come up with this and do this for this, and then send it to me. What was the hardest part of keeping your composure to the choreography that you had to do for the scene? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so
like, what was the experience like?
Basically, what was the experience like, and like how much of what you wanted to do did you have to keep in check to what they needed?
I mean, quite frankly, they let me run free with what I wanted, at least from a physical component. So that was really cool. So when it came to like I said, when it came to the choreography, I was really happy just to do moves that I feel feels really good in my body, because if it feels good for me, then it's going to really feel good for Maya. And then finding moments of both of them being heroic, but also taking damage. And so I was really happy about that. And in terms of,
do you shoot your own previs, or do you bring somebody in to do it? You shoot it?
I do it. But
and you cut it too? You edit?
Yes.
Awesome.
My previs is, once again, I'm a purist. I like to keep things really simple. Okay. Everyone has a different style. Every style is amazing. When it comes personally for me, when you're doing, and also like my background way back in the heyday is theater, and I like to be able to see everything. I think it's great when people take the liberties to do all these really intricate, cool shots. But I feel like for the first rendition, just show me the world, show me what I'm looking at. You can do some cool angles to really sell things, but for the most part, just give me the whole thing. The performer should be talented enough that you can sell it in a wide, and if we want to go to any angle, everything sells from every angle. If you're forcing the editor or the DP or the director to an edit, then I personally feel you're not doing a good job. Because when you're like, oh, but this punch only sells from here, we got to shoot because the previous shot from here, and you're like, yeah, but our lighting source isn't over there, we're shooting over there, so you need to change it. Oh, but we can't. So then you kind of fail as a fight choreographer. You should be able to adapt, and you should be able to just do what's best for production ultimately.
So where was going kind of doubling back to the question that I was just asking, from what you just said, when was the first time that you realized that was your job and not to put cool shit in a scene?
Oh, a long time ago. Even before this, this even happened.
So my question goes to the first time you got a call from a coordinator that wanted you to do a scene for them.
Or we could do Westworld. We can stick with Westworld.
Like I would say not just for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I mean, let's just go back to like the first time someone was like, I need you to shoot a previs for something legit. Not your piece, not their piece, for a production project. When you shot that, was there anything going through your head in that moment?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, this doesn't fit in that scene, I shouldn't do it. Or you're just like, I have a bunch of cool shit, here you go.
Well, I'm not the kind of person that says like, I have a bunch of cool shit, like, here we go. That's just not me.
Some people are.
Exactly. There's a lot of people who are, and they're like, I really want to do this one particular movie, and I want to force the edit so I can do this one cool. That's never my intention. The first time I did like a professional previs outside of my own personal projects was when I was working on The Mother for J-Lo, and I was like, I haven't even met her yet. And it's a fight. It's the end fight in the movie between her and oh my God, I'm blanking his name. I'm so awful. Lord Voldemort's brother. Anyways,
Rafe.
Joe Fiennes.
Joe Fiennes. I thought it was Ralph, and then I thought there was a Rafe Fiennes.
Well, it is. Rafe and Ralph is the same guy.
Rafe and Ralph is the same guy?
Yeah, you're just saying it wrong when you say Ralph, dumbass.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm a dumbass.
It's Rafe. Yeah. But you're talking about Joseph Fiennes.
Yeah, it was a fight between Joe and Jen. I haven't met either of them. And for me, that was like the first time the coordinator's like, okay, once you put it, you're the fight coordinator. I want you to put a previs for this. When you're done, I'm going to show it to the team. And I was like, I've never met either actors or their teams or the director. So for me, there was like a lot of pressure to like do a good job. And the whole movie was leading up to this fight scene. So I was like, so for me, that was like a lot. So for that particular previs, it took like kind of a week to do between like inception and then, you know, I was so nervous. So I was like over editing, overshooting, trying to get really interesting beauty shots. And I was doing the most and finally got to a place that like lived. And it was fun because for me, I was like, oh, I want this to be good because they don't know. I mean, they could watch this and be like, she sucks. We'll get like another choreographer in here right away. So there was a lot of pressure. And the whole time I was doing this, I was like, what makes these two characters look both badass, but needs to be based in proper martial arts because I like that, and serves a story, you know? So you're still hitting all those acting beats. You're still hitting like some proper technique and you're still having the violence. So that was a lot. And it was nice because when we actually got to filming the actual scene, not to toot my own horn here, but the end of
go
like,
ahead, toot away.
Oh no, I'll freaking
go for it.
Okay. I'll freaking toot. They originally shot with second unit, and second unit just did a bunch of wides, you know, getting coverage. And Jen was like, why are we shooting this? I approved the previs. Like, if we're shooting wides, then we're going to cut back to wides, but that's not what I approved the previs. We're shooting the previs. Fair enough. So the next day, I go to work, and there's like an Oscar-winning DP. There's the director. There's all these. There's the camera operators, all looking at their phone, copying my previs.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, yes, I did this right. Okay, good. Not that I was had any intentions of them doing. They can do whatever they want, but I was like,
sure. Okay,
so at least great. They're like, well, she's coming out, camera left to right, and this side, and this and that. Okay, and then we're gonna go here. Okay, I'm like. So that was a very cool moment.
Isn't that wonderful though? It's also like that they were ego less,
right?
That they were able to do that because you know some folks like the ego is too strong and it's like they want to do their own thing.
And what would you say biggest lesson learned was?
For that one, did you have like an oh shit moment? You know, with that and a lot of like fight coordinating or coordinating is learning for me how to deal with different personalities in a professional way. Because when I'm performing or acting, you're like in touch with your emotions and you can be physical and you can be emotional and nobody really checks you. You're just kind of like, you do your own thing, right? You're kind of like a little bit of a rock star. But when you're coordinating, you kind of have to be the adult in the room, which is fine. But when you've been years and years of just being like, the troublemaker, and now saying, like, oh man, I'm the responsible one. Shoot, I can't be like messing up in the corner and just doing my own thing and having a grand old time. I have to like, watch things and watch for people's safety. And then how to talk, you know, go throughout your whole day without saying something stupid because you're the person. Right, you're
the picture of responsibility. You're in charge of safety, all this kind of stuff.
You know, you can't just be like, it's fine. They're fine. They'll just do that. They're like, what do you mean they'll just do it? They'll throw themselves? You're like, yeah. You gotta say say things nicely.
You have to say it in a way that makes it sound, you know, professional. Like, they're just gonna, you know, they're just gonna wreck in the concrete. And then somebody's like, what? Oh no, they're gonna do this and that. You have to explain it, you know.
Have you ever shot Have you ever shot a previs and they talk about all of the little things you do in the previs, but they don't talk about your choreo? When so I shot a previs once, and it was the first time I ever had to submit something. So I was really nervous, and I had to, the one thing that I learned, the first time I was co-coordinating for somebody is your choreo has to help the scene.
Absolutely.
It has to help the scene. It has to make sense to the scenes prior. It can't just be what you want,
Yeah. Now he's a kung fu expert. Since when? Yeah.
Exactly. Just like you were saying. So all they loved was that there was an auction going on during a fight. And I literally took the auction scene from, Righteous Gemstone with Adam Sandler, and I edited that into the fight. They were flipping out that I was able to bring them into the fight by putting that scene in there, but said nothing about my fucking choreo.
You're like, great, that scene overshadowed what we're supposed to be talking about.
And I was like, Are we going to use this? I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
That's funny.
But to your point about like the last, I don't know what it made me think of. The story you were telling, Tara, about you didn't know the actors and you had to come up with these ideas and you had never met them and stuff. I'm working on a movie now, and nothing huge, but a couple of small altercations and some falls and stuff. And in my mind, I'm envisioning the actor that was originally attached to the project, and I just found out today, that guy's out. And we don't know who it's going to be yet. So now I have all these ideas just kind of floating in limbo, right? Because I don't know who the next person is going to be.
Push for a guy who's like 170, shaved head with a mustache.
Oh, we'll make it work.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. This dude right here. Yeah.
Got a guy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, totally. But so fast forward to now, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, it's your first time you're on the run of the show, coordinating the entire series. That's huge. It's huge, especially in something as large as that.
Right.
Where were you just emotionally? Like, where were you when that became a reality? That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, part of you must have been like super psyched, and part of you must have been like, holy shit, I actually have to do this now.
Yeah.
Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up.
No. Well, Stephen Pope, he's the coordinator, second director. He's like the best. I'm biased, but he's the best. But I don't.
Listeners can figure that one out on their own. Do your research. Yeah.
I've been doing this for so long. I don't get nervous.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean?
I don't talk about nerves, but it was a lot on your plate, right?
You're just used to it.
Maybe
it's
not
another day at the office.
Not really. No, because you just treat it like episode by episode. If you think about it as one big thing, yes, it's overwhelming. Sure. But if you just think about, because even we didn't get all the episodes straight off the bat. They would just feed you the episodes and write it as the show evolves. So you're just dealing each episode at a time, technically, like each fight at a time. So it was never necessarily overwhelming. It was more like when you were choreographing a fight for different scenes, making sure that you're not repeating your own actions, and you're not like going back to the same well that you normally go. So that's a thing that episodically you're like, oh wait, did we do this? Did I do this in this other fight? Because I personally like how this moves. No, I didn't. Okay, how can we change that flavor so it's a little different?
Right.
Or do something where like that's kind of their style, and we're going to use that and evolve with it. So
yeah, not falling into a rut of you're doing so much that you unconsciously start doing the same things over and over again. Like you don't want to do that, right?
Yeah, because I've worked with so many choreographers too, and there are a lot of amazing choreographers out there. But sometimes, you already know their style just walking into the room. You're like, oh, I know this guy. Yeah, he's going to want to see X, Y, and Z because he always does X, Y, and Z. And I'll give him exactly that. So, I mean, that's great, but also it's good to branch out and not be known as like, well, I only do this one thing really well all the time.
It's like, oh, someone's got this movie and been like, oh, there's going to be a lot of spinnies.
Exactly.
A lot of spinnies, a lot of kickies.
All the kicks. Here we go. Yeah.
There we go. Let's bring it to the end. One of the things I loved about this is that they really were Maya and Donald, or John and Jane. They were the shit was they were really wounded and damaged and hurt.
Yes.
Right? Like I love the fact that they were not invincible.
They did the exhausted parts of the fight very, very well. And I don't know, like for those of you who don't fight, you do not keep the same energy for 2 minutes, let alone 7, 4, or 20.
Yep.
So you are just crawling on the ground, scrounging for all of the energy. And it was so well done.
I think for them, it's like an actor choice. I've worked with, so many actors that just want to be the hero. They never take damage. They never take abuse. They're just like, they're a superhero without being a superhero,
Right.
They're never in danger. And so it was really nice that these two took it upon themselves to be like, well, no, we're human. We should take damage. Things should hurt. Like where the cuts happen matters. Everything matters. So I think it was really cool to watch that. Because sometimes you work with actors, you got to remind them like, hey, don't forget you're exhausted. You've been running up and down stairs and you got punched in the face. You're sad. You know what I mean? So with them, you didn't have to do that. They were already in it and they were there.
I like it when the injuries stay, not when they have it for 2 minutes and then it goes away.
Yep.
And then the fight continues. It's like, no, that should be bothering them forever.
Oh, I mean, literally, like from when John was sneaking through he was going through Hot Neighbor's apartment.
Yes,
yes.
He was like totally a physically fine, able guy to the very end in the panic room where he's basically almost dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's why we have the prophet here. Because that was the book. Remember, that was the book. Like at the very end, when he's like, I don't read. And Hot Neighbor's like, well, just read, man. Just read. He goes, you should read The Prophet. It's got really great stuff on marriage and life and like whatever. And then at the very end, when the post-credit scene where the Hot Neighbor comes in with this very edition of The Prophet, I was like, oh my God, I got to bring it and put it on the table.
I know, Hot Neighbor was so funny. I remember reading it, but like, ooh, I wonder who they're going to cast as Hot Neighbor. And then they cast Paul Dano. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, that was my wife. My wife was like, he's not hot.
Yeah, I'm like,
no offense, Paul. But I think it was like, it's always like the grass is always greener.
Yeah.
What's hot and what's not. But he was great, though.
He was so good.
He was great. And Parker Posey.
Oh, my God.
In that scene, and oh, my God, what's his name from Narcos?
They were the other
John.
Wagnamura.
The other John and Jane that killed the John and Jane.
Yes,
God, they were so good.
The John and Janes that kill other John and Janes.
Oh.
They were so good.
Parker Posey is fucking great in everything.
Yeah,
she's great.
She's awesome.
She is.
No one plays a bitch like Parker Posey. Nobody. From Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Nobody plays a bitch like she does.
Or even most recently in White Lotus.
Oh
my God.
So good. It was so much fun watching her and Wagner work because I've never worked with them before. I've just obviously watched them, and they're so unhinged. They just do what they want and it works. There's so much character. They bring so much to the table because even like scripted, the lines are pretty simple, but what they bring as a character, you're like, holy crap, they are good.
And what's amazing?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I'm saying they're so good.
Oh, is how instinctual it is.
Mm-hmm.
And how like, have you ever worked with two actors, both fucking amazing, but they both work completely differently?
Oh, yeah.
Like one can feel it in the moment and the other one needs everyone's presence on set, is getting ready and is
everybody has their process. But like what I love is like those moments when you're just sitting on set, it's like, and you're not doing anything and you just get to watch masters at work.
I have
it's so good
when it, because it's going to air, so I have some really awesome videos of when I was on The Walking Dead, and working with Kim Coates and then working with Jeffrey Dean Morgan was working with two completely different people. Kim commanded everyone's presence on set. If you were behind the camera, if you were anywhere in his vision in the scene, you needed to be present in that scene, right? Meanwhile, like, in another scene, Jeffrey would just be kind of like sitting there. He'd be like, you know what? He'd be like, I think I would just be chilling out behind the table, eating a fucking apple. And then like, everyone's like, what the fuck? And then they shoot it and they're like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, but it's just so weird how everybody has their process, but yet they can deliver from it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you got coming up? Anything?
I'm currently on this little movie over in New York right now, like a little rom-com.
Say little movie. You're gonna say little movie, and I feel like I'm just gonna be like, "Fuck you." Like, what?
Oh, you're in New York. We felt a disturbance in the force.
I'm like,
we knew you were here.
I'm like, what's this little movie?
Yeah, it's just this cute little rom-com. So I'm on that just for the rest of the month through July. And then I just wrapped up on, what was that? Wow, I'm a jerk. Office Romance.
Oh, cool.
So
nice.
That was like a Jennifer Lopez rom-com too. So that was good fun.
Yo, speaking of J-Lo, my wife just bought MTV Raps, the entire series on Blu-ray. Every episode.
Your wife's a badass. Yes.
Oh, my wife is the best.
Some Ed Lover,
Chris, you get major shout outs right here.
Right? Ed Lover, Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
The original Dr. Dre.
But his Fabulous Five Freddy was the original host.
Oh, that's right.
And then they took over.
Mm-hmm.
But we were watching, we've been watching it from 1988 till just watching it through.
That's so awesome.
It's so amazing. But so many clips of J-Lo, young.
Oh,
like,
that's
crazy. Dancing and stuff.
And that,
oh my God, that's J-Lo.
It's like when you watch the old school Digital Underground videos and you see Tupac dancing in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And it's also sad to see all the folks that are not around anymore.
I mean, of course.
But dude, it's a sin what Viacom is doing, taking all that stuff offline and deleting their databases. Like if that's why she saw it online, she saw it available to purchase. She's like, I got to buy this.
Hell yeah.
It's all disappearing. I got to buy this. So, man.
Sounds like a movie night.
So it does.
It's crazy. But so I have a quick question before we go. If there was one film that you could tell anyone who wants to get in the movie industry, the film industry, stunts or whatever, that they should watch, what would it be?
I think this should be our final question of future episodes. This is a new question.
Thank you.
Okay.
Like not necessarily right.
You don't have to fucking say The Godfather. Like you can literally pick one of something that means something to you and why. It doesn't have to be
right. But from like kind of like what from an action perspective.
It could be. I mean, to give you a little background.
Filmmaker.
We went to see some screenings.
What is one film that you think everyone that wants to be a filmmaker should watch?
Like we went to see Hooper recently on the big
Hooper's
screen.
Great. Yeah, Hooper's amazing.
And then we went to see Raiders of the Lost Ark, the original on the big screen.
So good.
But what we saw with these common threads that a lot of people are not aware of, like in Hooper, when he's showing his stunt reel, the stunt reel has Hal Needham doing wing walking from biplane to biplane, which was just in Mission Impossible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Raiders of the Lost Ark had the stagecoach drag under the stagecoach. It was just under a truck. So it got us talking about what's a movie that, like, if you had like your Desert Island Disc version movie, like this movie you should watch.
I feel like now I'm just gonna piggyback off what you said, but yeah, I feel like Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think that's great. I think Heat is good.
No,
not a Heat fan.
One, you get one.
What?
You get to pick one. This isn't a conversation. You got to think about it and pick one.
Man.
Don't say Mortal Kombat.
I could go off and name a bunch of movies. You gotta buckle down, think hard, and name one.
I don't even know if I can name one, but I would probably say
I can right off the bat.
You can.
Okay, I'm gonna just piggyback. I'm gonna say Hooper. Hooper's great.
Do it. Hooper's on my list for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you?
Oh, what's mine?
Yeah, what's your one? You said you have one.
James Caan Rollerball. The writing, the action, the storytelling, everything about that movie is something that you should learn how to fucking write something that's going to be fucking timeless.
Okay, that's also my list to watch.
The premise of Rollerball is fucking. If you go and you watch that now, you're like, shit, that could happen.
All right, so I'll throw out Way of the Gun, which is one of our favorites.
Yep.
Have you seen Way of the Gun?
No,
Oh
you
my
guys
God.
have to like message me a list of these movies. I got
Oh my
3
God.
that you've talked about that I haven't seen. So
Way of the Gun. Oh my God, that you have to watch.
Christopher McQuarrie.
That's his first movie.
First
wow.
movie.
Mhm.
So obviously, we all know he wrote The Usual Suspects and many others. But this is the first movie he wrote and directed.
Cool.
And it also has the greatest fucking opening scene ever.
Yeah.
With Sarah Silverman. And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Greatest opening scene.
It also, James Caan. Also,
yes, James Caan is
He's great.
as well.
Very young Benicio del Toro.
The James Caan connection of awesomeness.
Yes, but that movie and that movie still.
James Caan was the star in Rollerball, by the way.
Yes, so that movie is still today what they will people will say if you want to see proper firearm handling. This is the movie.
Yep, Bounding Fire.
Before Heat. Before
Soup
Heat.
to nuts.
Yeah.
Ooh, gotta watch it.
Because McQuarrie's brother was the technical advisor on it. He's a Navy SEAL. So he just trained all those guys. Yeah. You have to see Way of the Gun. It's so good. People call it the spiritual sequel to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Okay, so we got Way of the Gun. What else? Rollerball. Then what's the other movie we talked about earlier? State of Grace.
State of Grace.
Okay, I watched those 3. Okay.
Yes,
Done.
yes. Do it. We'll report back. Next time you're on the show, we're going to ask for...
I have homework.
You have homework.
I've been watching Love Island, so this is good.
Oh my God, Love Island, really? Are you no.
I mean, I'm watching 2 episodes just for comedy's sake because everybody was talking about it, and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
My wife loves the trash. It's such... Oh my God. Like, I get it. It just... There's so much of... It just takes you out of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was into, like all of us, I was into like Flavor of Love and all that stuff back in the day, but no, I can't anymore. It's like, it numbs the brain. It numbs it.
Those shows get my blood pressure going. That there might be people like that in the universe.
Oh, yeah.
There are.
I know.
You're watching them.
But I don't know if that shit's real.
Yeah.
I blame all that stuff on producers.
Dude. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having me.
Dude,
so much fun.
This is great. I mean, maybe a final question. I know you had a final question, but now that I was going to say, I really loved hearing you talk about filmmaking as opposed to performing. But I'm curious, what is your, do you have a preference? They both satisfy different sides of yourself, or like,
yeah, I don't
where are you with that?
I'm like, you pay me, I'll do it. No, I'm good. Like, I love performing. Like, I'm a hand.
I mean, you've been performing forever.
Yeah, put me in front of the camera, I'll freaking slay. I love performing. But also, I love being behind the camera, and I love bringing a whole scene to light and, having a more say than just being responsible for my own performance and trying to pull something out is also really cool, too. And so, a little bit of both, I say, as opposed to just being like, I'm just going to coordinate. I'm just going to do this. I'm like, no, I'm too much of a ham. Like, I was working on a movie back in February where I just was wielding a katana fighting with actresses just for the hell of it. Because why not?
Right.
It's so much fun.
Sure. And because we've spoken to some people, they're like, the coordinating, like the stress of the safety of it, just like sort of the responsibility is. We've had some people say, I prefer to just be the performer. There's a little bit less on my shoulders or whatever.
Well, that's why, like, people ask, they're like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
I'm like, I would like to design fights as opposed to be the stunt coordinator.
Right.
I would like to design a fight around what's in the script.
Yeah, like, still be creative.
Yes. As opposed to coordinating what's happening on the day while everyone's there. I feel like that I like it, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about, I don't know, something about designing a fight with a script and the emotion.
But it sounds like, Tara, you got that creative experience because sometimes like on big things, you get less opportunity to be creative. Like, they might give you an animatic, hey, this is what we want. You just do it.
Exactly.
But in this case, it seems like you really had a very fortunate experience of being able to just make what to really contribute to the collaboration, like you said.
Exactly. There's some projects where you're like, well, these aren't my choices. I personally would never do this, but I'll do it. Do I think it looks great? No, but I'll make it happen.
Right. Cool. Awesome. We will keep an eye out for your future stuff, and we'd love to have you back on after that stuff comes out.
Yeah, for sure.
And you have to do your homework.
Yeah, I have a lot of things to watch. Very excited about that. And
we're going to ask our fans to engage you on that.
Oh, man.
Everybody, come on, go to her Instagram and ask her, like, what did you think of State of Grace? What did you think? What was your
favorite scene at Rollerball? Like, oh!
In 7 minutes and 36 seconds in Rollerball.
Yep, totally. Awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap it up. And
this is a great interview. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. So much fun.
Yay. Later. Film Fights with Friends is produced by Stephen Koepfer, Paul Varacchi, Press Record Studios, and Breakfall Studios. This episode was engineered by Matthew Kaplowitz. This show is powered by our supporters at Patreon and is a registered trademark of Film Fights with Friends, LLC. Original theme by Ahrue Luster.